Okay, I'm back. Because as I was thinking about some things some more this morning, I had this major epiphany, like another one. It's one thing I love about Miracle Mornings is that it forces me to focus on things that are important in my life and really, like have blinders on to everything else so I can super focus in. And a lot of times I realize things about my business life or personal life that I haven't really thought about before. You guys, I had to set the camera down because I have to use my hands to do this. And I'm outside because I'm burning up after thinking through this. I'm having a little bit of mommy guilt here. I'm going to share it with you. Okay, I was talking about my last video how my daughter was, foster daughter was sad about lots of things in her life. But I had an epiphany about her sadness and her loss, okay? I was talking about how you can go back and watch it if you want to. It's Happy Day After Christmas. She, when she's sad about something, she tends to carry that sadness over in other areas, so that she actively seeks out consequences for, a lot of times it's misbehavior, so she can cry. And I talked about how, even as adults, we do that. If we're sad about something, we tend to watch a sad movie or read a sad book, or we think of everything else that was sad in our lives, just so that we can be sad. And I was thinking about why is that? Why do we not immediately think, oh my gosh, I'm sad about this. Let me find something happy to do so that I can, counterbalance that heavy emotion. You guys, epiphany. Are you ready for it? Because my mind is blown. Like, literally, I'm sweating like a pig, and I'm just, This made me tear up, you guys. Think about when you lose a loved one. My kids did not lose loved ones to death, but in a sense, they didn't just lose one loved one, one parent. They lost their entire family when they came into the foster care system. Sure, they get to see them 2 or 3 times a month. It's different. It's different. They still have that sense of loss. Whenever you lose a loved one, how is it that you feel during that first period of grief? You feel like if you're happy, you somehow discount the authenticity of that original grief. You need to set up other smaller areas where you can be sad so that you can, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. Validate, so that you can validate that original grief. So here's what happens when most foster children come into a foster home. This is what happens when a child comes into my foster home. I want to try and make them happy because they're sad. They're grieving, but I want to make them happy. So I try to force them to do happy things. Let's go on a field trip. Let's go to McDonald's. Let's go to Dollywood. Let's go to the zoo. Let's color. Let's paint. Thinking that those are going to be therapeutic things for them. And I have it all wrong. In doing that, I am essentially telling them that your original grief doesn't need to be validated. It's not important enough to be validated. So I'm not going to let you be sad about other things. Let's just be happy so that we can get over the sadness. And I'm missing out on an integral part of grief. The first part of grief that has to be processed before you can move on to the other parts of acceptance. And I'm afraid that in my desire to make my kids happy, which is not a bad thing, I have essentially really hurt them in a very deep way, in a way that it's keeping them stuck in that sadness and it's having the opposite effect of what I wanted it to have. You guys, told you, epiphany. Children are the same as we are. They're just in a smaller body, but they have just as big emotions as we do. And yeah. having an epiphany. I hope this helps you in some way. If you're a foster parent out there, don't make the mistake that I did. Learn from my mistakes that has taken me 4 years to learn. Okay? And, by the grace of God, I pray that we can overcome that and start back over. I just want to start back at the beginning now and do what we should have done first off so that we can really start that healing process for my kids. Okay, signing off. I'm done for today. I promise I'll be back for a few days, I think, unless I have another epiphany. Bye, guys.